So we're still locked down. I mean, I'm working, so it's like, I don't know. It's not really that different for me, but the rest of the country's still, for the most part, locked down, except for like the quote unquote Trump states.
Yeah.
Which is
What state? What, Kentucky, Missouri?
Yeah, that, and like all the good college
Iowa.
football states.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're playing. Yeah, it's
fucking Wisconsin, dude. Fucking, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's going on, but California is just like, stop, guys. Hey, stop. You know what I mean? When people are going outside, like but like underneath it all, they're kind of like, Gavin Newsom does like those clap tweets, like, please stay inside for me. Yes. Like he does that like kind of shit. But then he's like, send the National Guard, actually. And
yeah, totally.
Mayor Garcetti. I don't know if
the
it's
LA
Garcetti.
dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, hang on. I saw Gavin tweet earlier. He's like, send it along that we're supposed to save the post office. It's like, dude, that's your job. Like, you're the fucking guy that's elected.
Yeah. He's like, he's all fingers crossed, guys.
Yeah.
Hope we do it
dude,
this time.
Sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, he is totally the like. Where you kind of want, like, how sometimes if you have a dog that's like too nice, you're like kind of like, well, what's gonna happen if someone breaks in the house? Are you just gonna want to play with him? You know what I mean? Like when you have a dog that's too nice, that's like Gavin Newsom, where it's like he just rolls over like this and he's like, here you go, like, you know what I mean? And you kind of want him to be like, hey, can you maybe just bark and let me know the person's here? Like even if you don't bite,
just give me a heads up. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Just the most like tame guy of all time. Still got cucked by Don Jr. Hilarious. Will never not be funny to me. But this guy,
that LA mayor though, dude. Fucking
Garcetti Wop, and so he
Garcetti.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Garcetti or Garcetti, but I thought Italian you're supposed to go with the ch on the CET. Yeah. So that's what I thought. Anyways, so he has instituted what's that word I'm looking for? Fascism, and in LA. And so this is the tweet. This is from a while ago. I meant to talk about this last episode, but I didn't want to miss this one. So this is from Fox LA. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti announces he is authorizing the city to shut off water and power to any houses or businesses that are hosting any parties or unauthorized large gatherings. It will begin Friday night, and LAPD will respond. Then contact DWP, which I guess is the water thing or something. I don't know, or something power, I would imagine, to cut off the utilities. So it's something about denying people essential services. Just doesn't sit right with me.
Water's the biggie, dude. Like, okay, you go to a party, let's say someone like gets hurt and they need water for some shit, or they need to shower off or something. Like, nope.
Because no power, you can just go like, well, this Bluetooth speaker, I mean, it's gonna last just a little longer as long as my phone goes. Yeah.
We got some jungle juice, just wash it out.
After that, I have bongos and an acoustic, so we're set. But
dude,
the amount of people,
dude, it's like it doesn't even help. That doesn't even help what you think your cause is. And even if you're for this whole thing, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
So okay,
yeah.
If you had to pick, what kind of parties do you think are going to be broken up? Do you think it's going to be the Yeezy release party at Kanye's house or something like that? Or like, do you think it's going to be some like film studio exec guy who God knows what his parties are with the film?
All right, call the LAPD on,
exactly.
Yeah, call the LAPD on Aaron Paul. Aaron Paul's Hollywood home is having a party. It's
all right, Rob Reiner, get out here right now.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I love this. Anything to get rid of the orange man. But so so I'm guessing that when the police get involved, and there's a lot of people who have the all cops are bastards or whatever in their username agreeing with this tweet. And stuff like, hey, got to do what we got to do. People don't want to listen. This is what happens. And what's funny is it's like, okay, you agree all cops are bad, but let's have cops enforce pandemic rules, and let's be real, they're gonna break up like a quinceañera somewhere.
Exactly.
And they're like, all right, Tamale man, like you're out of here. All right, all this, it's gonna be.
They're gonna be like Compton swap meet. Nope.
Straight up.
Come on.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Nah, dude. I don't know about that.
It's
just weird. Like, I don't get. you there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think
no, I'm screen sharing.
every fucking, I don't get what's happening right now, dude. I'm just realizing I'm less authoritarian than I thought. I
Yeah.
don't think I ever wasn't, but like it's just
Yeah.
crazy how people are with these takes. They're just like, yep, this is good, you know, it's fucking, it's stupid, dude. Yeah,
Look at
you
this
can't do that as a
response.
landlord, right? Yeah, it's like,
Look at
yeah,
this. Like, so yeah, like this is the shit. I can't disagree with that. It's like, let's get him the fuck out of here. Like he's trying to take off water from our van. Like,
yeah, dude.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. Yeah, you're right.
It's worse than dumb, dude. It's fucking scary, dude. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, so you're against like landlords. Like we all get that. Like it's stupid to make money, excessively by just hoarding housing and shit, right? Like not doing anything.
mm-hmm.
But like, okay, so you're gonna make the mayor the top landlord? Like I'm just gonna shut your water off. You didn't pay the bill. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck is that?
Exactly. No,
Yeah,
you're
that's
just
not.
it's
Yeah.
and it also like the fact is like a lot of these utilities are privatized too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
all this incentive and they'll be like, oh, well, here you had a party. Your house camera shows that you had a party last week, and that's going to put a 25% increase on this month's bill because of pandemic restrictions. Like,
Yeah.
you can
Exactly.
totally see that.
It's like a money making scheme now.
I don't get it, man. I just
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah.
So the real reason that I mean, we're podcasting every week, so that's the real reason. But the real meat of this sandwich here is the Biden picking none other than I believe it's Kamala Harris. I've been corrected. It's Kamala.
Oh, you want to talk about it? You want? Okay. Oh, here we go, man.
Kamala Harris. Yeah, and I
We
don't
should have
know.
bet on this. This would have been a good bet. Like
I tried.
It was pretty obvious, like in hindsight, that this was gonna happen.
When you do stuff like that, it's like minus 3,500 or something. It's like you don't make any money.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for your $100 bet. Here's $12 winnings. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, well, first off, your thoughts
on this whole debacle?
Yeah, just the choice. Oof. I mean, I don't know.
Well, we see in real time the whole thing with everyone you thought was down with criticizing someone is all of a sudden like, oh, they're the greatest and shit. You know, you kind of like shows true colors, right?
It's terrible.
And like Angela Davis was going off about it. She's like, I'm fucking stoked, holding up the newspaper and shit. It's like
her and Chomsky. It's like, dude, one of those ones where we're like, hey, I love you. You're awesome. But just I don't know.
I don't even think Chomsky would never do that though. He would never be like, be like, yo, this is my queen right here, dude. Can you imagine?
Chomsky with a Yes Queen shirt, and he's
with Kamala, right? Yeah, it's
Kamala. Yes, how dare you?
Yeah, with Kamala, it's like the deeper you dig, the worse it gets with the record.
It's
and everything.
terrible.
I'm sorry, it's just like not good. I don't get. You don't have to make this one good, Libs. Like you don't have to twist this one into. Just let it breathe, just own the moment, be like, we need to do this because of Trump. Just I can respect that.
That is what majority of it is. There are people that try to argue like the nitty gritty with you, and you're like, stop.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if she sucks, you've already like most of these people already kind of were like, yeah, the Biden presidency is going to be terrible. But I'm sorry, you can't be on this like police, defund the police, and then literally vote for the police.
I know, dude. Yeah, the two top cops in the nation. Dude.
Yeah, the guy. It's the point guard. Biden's the point guard signing the crime bill, and Kamala Harris just grabs it reverse, two-handed, like that. Lob City,
fucking trampoline on
Chris Paul to Blake Griffin. You're in jail for life.
Blake Griffin.
Gang enhancement. Yeah. And
oh my God, dude. Yeah.
No, and so you can't say you care, right? Because as bad, and look, like there's no winning in this election anyway. So it's, I mean, whatever, even as bad as Kamala's record is, Trump is still very fucking bad on crime. So like,
it's not good, dude. But what's crazy, you can't cry fascism at Trump and then be like, actually, the person that wanted to jail single moms for not having their kids show up in school is like a good choice. What do you call that? It's so
no.
Oh
but
God,
what's funny is have you seen the claim where people say she's the most progressive vice president of all time? It's like, she probably is. That's the sad part. Yeah. She probably, that's probably not wrong, but you're not selling her to me at that point. It's like, oh no, Dick Cheney. Yeah, correct. Comparing her to Dick Cheney and Mike Pence. And like people like that, and Joe Biden, as a vice president. Like she probably is a little more progressive than all three of those, just slightly, even if it's, identity politics stuff. It's still, quote unquote progressive. And it's like,
dude,
but that's not a compliment.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, but I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about, not even because obviously like we're not fans of either of those candidates, and it's just such a shit show. But I just have a bad feeling about this. Like it's like something like I'm not convinced it's gonna happen, dude. Like everyone just thinks it's like the sure thing. We're gonna just tap it in, like Happy Gilmore.
Trump losing.
Yeah, dude. It's like, and it scares the shit out of me. Like I don't think we'd come back from that. And I'm not saying that like as a live. I'm saying like just looking objectively, like it might get weird. You know what I mean? And and it's like, dude, I just don't. I get the sense something might be like something might just tank this whole thing in the next couple of months. It could be something big.
Doesn't this feel like the end, like the last election? Doesn't this feel like that? Like where it's
that's
like,
what Tim Dillon was saying, dude. He was just like,
I just watched that. That was incredible,
dude. I know. I was like, shit. And Rogan's like, oh no, dude. And he's like, sorry, dude. This is just the way it is. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, it just like obviously, I hope something replaces it that's better. I think that's possible. I really don't think how flimsy these structures all are. And obviously, like Twitter is not real life. Like that's not who's gonna like champion the fuck. Well, obviously Twitter is gonna be an important tool, but all the it's not gonna be like online leftists that are gonna be the ones that decide, like you can have healthcare, but if you don't have pronouns in the bio or so, just stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously that's like,
well, Cobra insurance for me then. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like the whole, which is fine. Like I don't give a fuck about the bio, but like the Kamala has it in hers, right?
And she locked up. I know. Go ahead.
She heard no, and I just saw this. It's like, someone just like, this is important that this is happening. I'm like, okay, dude, like.
And she didn't even honor the gender when she was putting people in prison. They're like, I actually identify as a woman. They're like, yeah, you're going to men's prison. Sorry. And so it's like,
so you're gonna call us out for calling that out? Like, what the fuck? It's just it's dumb. It's pointless, dude. It's pointless.
And what was crazy was there was no good choice. I mean, out of this thing, there was no good.
Yeah, but it could have been funny at least. Could have been like Klobuchar.
Yeah, this is actually kind of that would have been. She's a cop lover too. I mean, it's all, in my opinion. I'm not sure it's gonna be any better with like Susan Rice or any of that kind of stuff. I don't know. I never. I expected it to happen, and I remember for a while, like even a couple days before, people were like, "Nah, it's actually gonna be one of these two or something." And then I was like, "Nah, man, like it's gonna be." It was always her. Like I feel like it was always her.
Yeah, and I don't get it too as just an everyday voter. Like for someone who's a woman who's like wouldn't you be livid after like the second time in a row when they're finally nominating female candidates in history, basically, in on the mainstream stage, at least in America. Mm-hmm. They just are like strike one, strike two, with these crazy, uninspiring people that are like actively anti social justice on every category, basically, save for pronouns in the bio, right? Like, wouldn't that like enrage you? You don't have to claim this one. You know what I mean? You don't have to claim this victory as yours. I'm just leaving that open.
Who's claiming this as a progressive victory would be it's this guy. He's you may have heard of him. His name is Jon Favreau. No, not the director of Iron Man and the guy from Swingers or whatever.
Quarterback for the fucking Wisconsin, fucking Green Bay. Brett Favre.
Brett Favreau. Yeah,
that's like the Simpsons joke. The fucking we want to watch Cirque du Soleil, and he's like, I want to watch Brett Favre.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Anyway, go on.
Favreau is like if you made a lib out of a mold in a factory, like lib beta man, like sitting on your own nuts because some lady wants to knit next to you, and like that. Yeah, just like, well, this is my spot, and I have to respect her space. Yeah, yes, she's cross-legged on a picnic blanket on the seat, but no, that's fine. He's that kind of guy, and he wanted to say that and I'll share the screen with you guys right now. He wanted to say that she is the most progressive vice president of all time, Jon Favreau, saying this. Now, again, I don't disagree with that, but it doesn't make me want to vote for her either way. But what he decided to say was that, no, she is the left. Like she's basically saying what he's saying, what the conservatives are saying. Like she's a far left radical. Like, we can, it's tough for me to even vote for this. She's so far left. He's doing that thing. But here's the clip. He's definitely Man, AirPods are rough. I don't know. There's something about AirPods.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, I mean, I know cool people will probably do it too. It's the norm, but as you see, it's wired.
I can't.
I'm wired in. Yeah, I'm hardwired in.
Wired up, dude.
Yeah,
it's hardwired in the mainframe, dude.
Sure, exactly. It's like vinyl and MP3. It's like, you can listen to MP3s. Go ahead, but like we have vinyl. Like this is nobody. You'll want it when you're 40 and depressed. Like
exactly.
And so this is Jon Favreau, and here we go.
It was hilarious to me that she is being called in all this coverage a moderate. Like Joe Biden has found a fellow moderate or centrist. She supports something extremely close to Medicare for All, which Bernie Sanders acknowledged in his statement supporting her. She's for the Green New Deal. She has one of the most liberal records in the U.S. Senate. Like, if you want to call Kamala Harris's record in the Senate and her policies that she's supporting now, centrist or moderate, great. If that's where the Overton window has moved, then congratulations to all the progressive activists, because you have fucking moved the shit out of that window that is supporting the Green New Deal. And basically Medicare for All is now moderate and centrist. Fantastic. It was...
Should have warned me before showing her. I was like, whoa, yeah. But then, no.
Here's the thing. None of that shit's going to happen. Joe Biden has said like 18 times after he's secured the nomination that he would veto it if it came across his desk. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like,
you know what he's gonna do is
why do you think he, like, John, do you think he believes he knows that it's just not gonna pass? Like, he has to know that, right? Or are these people like that, like, no, true believers? Are they that tapped in?
He's doing a blow bang at fucking Goldman Sachs, dude. Goldman Sachs just like Goldman sucks.
And a sly way to like be like, Kamala Harris supports Medicare for All. This is like a victory for leftists. Like, like the reason it wasn't her that did that. You know what I mean? And she recounted on it multiple times. So I don't know, man.
No, that was when I remember that during the primary, man. It was like everybody went on the first debate stage like, what do you? Bernie's not the only Medicare for All guy. I'm Medicare for All, and then you like look up and they would put their thing, and it was like, there's also a public option. There's also this and that, which it's one of those things where it either is or it isn't. Like, for anybody who doesn't know this, like Medicare for All,
it's in the name.
It's Medicare for All. Yeah, exactly. And justice for all. Like, it's one of those things. Like, you don't have it if like not everybody has it. It doesn't seem that hard to break down, but it's nuts to me, man. Like, what we need direct democracy.
Yeah, well, I think what this has shown is, a lot of times we're willing to concede power to a higher structure when you think that you're going to get something beneficial for it in return. But during like a pandemic, we can't even have the basics of we can't even have a Congress that doesn't go on fucking vacation, right? In the middle, like,
incredible.
Like, you can't have shit like that happen. I don't know, man. It's just so crazy. Like, these people don't deserve our tax money and our respect and everything. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's I don't know, man. It's a crazy game. No one survives it. Is AOC going to survive this shit? Like,
she's listening to Bodak Yellow on Instagram Live right now, which, hey, look, if that's what you want to listen to, I don't shame people for like wanting to have fun and stuff, but like, just read the room. You know what I mean?
Read the room.
Like, you don't need to go on IG Live and do that. Like, read the room.
She's flexing on her making a congresswoman's salary, like, and be able to get it.
She's like, I got called a fucking bitch, so I get a month off personally, but
yeah,
it's I don't know.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, and this whole it's just gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next couple weeks. I don't think I think they're hedging. They're hedging their bets on all this cash.
Oh,
they win the market, and they
win right now. This is a win.
Yeah, totally. And they're just shaking them down. Like, this is crazy, because this is the only path that money can go, and the way we've set it up, right, is up.
Yeah.
And so that's what the Great Depression wasn't. People lived opulently during the Great Depression, right? There was never a need for people to struggle like that. It's the same shit, right?
Right.
FDR turned that around. If we would have kept those policies, we would have. So we can be resilient. We can be anti-fragile, like Nassim Taleb talks about it.
Exactly,
dude. It's so dumb, and yeah, man. I will say, like, if she can be used as like a pawn to be like, the elite are like, okay, you can say your progressive ideas, Kamala, but and that's fine, whatever. But if that triggers like a fire wave of like like, everyone, all the young people watching Kamala hear her say these things on the debate stage, and then they normalize it, right, in the next generation. And if she's going to take credit for it, just like any politician, like with gay marriage or something like that, when, you know what I mean? But if she can be used as a pawn to that end in the long run, like, like have the elite plan backfire on them, that's fine, but she's not authentic. Yeah, that's
no, and it's just going to be another Obama administration. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be back to like BuzzFeed it instead of like screaming at Trump. They're going to have like 36 times you look just like this golden retriever, and it was awesome. and like that's going to be
each page you got to click, dude.
It's and then there's an ad every third page. You're like, oh, fucking motherfucker. Yeah. I know number 35 will be me, so I need.
I just want to see the thumbnail picture. Damn it!
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Look at this tweet I found from as a Jon Favreau thing. This is from Genevieve Gagne Hawes, and what do we say about white women with two last names or three names? It's not great.
Look it up in the appendix.
Exactly. That's a long time ago. I think that might have been like one of the first takes that we had. But so she says, "I'm not crying listening to Jon Favreau describe Kamala Harris door knocking for Obama in Iowa in 2008. You're crying." This week's pod save is wonderful. That's what it is. It's
so PodSave just functions as a vehicle to whitewash the VP candidate now for the Democratic Party. Holy shit, man!
Because you have to sell her on both sides. That's the insane part. Like
yeah, dude,
you have to sell her. Kind of. I mean, the boomer liberals are like, oh, Kamala Harris, this will be great. You know what I mean? And but then like to the right wing, everyone's like, well, look, I've heard an unironic take from like a liberal saying like, well, she's a cop and they love cops. So like the Never Trump Republicans are going to love cops. I'm like, awesome. Great for everybody. If that happens,
dude. Yeah, thanks. The thing is, how would they, man, I'm just thinking the fucking like, oh dude, we can't handle another war that's coming, like it's not them. I'm not saying it's like those two people that would do. I mean, obviously it is, but we're just back on track with all this shit,
Yeah.
Like it's
at least
so
Trump
crazy.
used to tell on himself all the time, so it would wake everybody up.
I'm not saying Trump was an anti-imperialist by any stretch of the imagination, but you could tell it's different. It's a different flavor of the track we were
based. It's just him.
Yeah,
he's like
yeah. Dude.
They're like, just put a flag of my face. I don't want anything else. Yeah.
Greenland, dude. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't actually want to operate it. Yeah, it's a disgusting place, but just put my face there.
But dude, and mark my words, dude, the continent of Africa is next. Like Middle East is like the big thing now. Like they're gonna go hard. Look what's happening with Bill Gates there. Look they're gonna do the takeover. They're gonna do the coup. It's the next moneymaker, dude. I swear to fucking God. Yeah. And the crazy thing, Kyle Clancy was like, we have our like a secret paramilitary organization in Africa. We just have that shit there. But it's like they're not even on paper. Like it is, but you can't. It's like they're not a normal thing that you can just like look up how many troops there are in Ghana or some shit. But if we're there, dude, it's
that's cool. And I love when people are like even Rogan was doing it on that Rogan Tim Dillon thing where he was saying like, so how do we pay for unemployment? And it's like that things like that don't need to exist. Like fucking secret armies in fucking like Africa and stuff. And Rogan's like, do we take it from the garbage men? Do we take it like
dude? That dude is quickly becoming just $100 millionaire. He needs to give like half that away and just JK Rowling.
I love the Rob Lowe interview because I love Rob Lowe. I was watching
I watched a little bit.
They were talking about was just like rich guy shit. The whole like it was a good interview, but for like 20 minutes, and they acknowledged that they're just like, damn, like we just are filthy fucking rich and have and we've been famous like for 40 years.
Dude.
Like Rob Lowe was like
those dudes.
It was hilarious. And
they're not gonna be the champions of this shit. Like they'll support it in the long run. It'll be like civil rights or some shit. But they're not gonna be leading the torch.
Still Rogan over legacy media any day of the week. So
there's a whole thing like he's moving to Texas to avoid taxes on that $100 million, which is totally understandable from a personal standpoint, business standpoint. But the whole thing is like, how do we? I don't want to pay taxes in America too, knowing where our tax dollars go. Like I don't want to, not now, So like how could I can't judge him for that. And it's like, do you want Rogan's $100 million check to 10% support the military? Like I don't want that to happen,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like, what the fuck? Like what do we do? And this is why these liberal states too always have to support the warmongers because even though it's just fucking Ponzi scheme sham of like money recycling through the military. It seems separate, but it's not, in terms of like tech and, battling with China over iPhones and cheap labor and shit, but also like, that hits up the Middle East and South America with lithium and all these, it's all connected. And, it's so easy to forget with the two-party system, of course, but even without that, it's just they obfuscate all this. And I don't know, man.
Yeah. And getting back to Kamala Harris, this is her con is incredible to me. So you do the identity politics. Like, I support this, even though she sat out mysteriously Mario Woods, a mentally ill man who had a knife, not even a gun, in San Francisco. Guy, firing squad, no joke. Like, it was like multiple police, just boom, 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 boom against the wall, just like pumping rounds. She was just kind of like, thoughts and prayers. Hope you guys get justice. Like, same thing as Gavin Newsom. It's the California approach. It's the oh God, that's
it's the South
she
Park.
takes her glasses off. She takes her glasses off, handkerchief, and she's just like, the laws that Ronald Reagan put in place do not allow me to, and just shit like that, where it's like you totally could step in. You'd have the public behind you. You totally could step in and make something right. But then it's the typical Democrat thing to where she's going to tax the elite. The elite are going to pay a higher tax. That's why ultimately they're going to want Trump in there. Like, not the elite, but just the billionaire, millionaire guys. They want Trump in there for the taxes, right? At the end of the day, Trump's not going to hit them hard. So
didn't she fail to prosecute Steve Mnuchin?
Exactly.
Trump's guy.
Yeah.
What kind of gymnastics do you have to do to kind of be
And liberals all know that guy. Like, I hear them just yelling his name into an abyss on the internet.
It's like he would be in jail if your VP candidate did her job.
But then you get the PR guys who are like, well, you have to see, had Kamala done that, you'd really have to that would have just been playing her hand. And they always say like dumb West Wing shit like that. And it's just
it's always some like 14D chess when it comes to Republicans. When it comes to liberals, it's like fucking Sun Tzu, Art of War shit, like a guerrilla hiding in the bushes, like sniping people and shit. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's why
we have to vote for her. We were told we had to vote for her. Like, it's nuts. Yeah. Like the vote shaming. You'd think that wouldn't happen again. Like, you'd think they would have just counted as lost, because already in 2016 it didn't happen. But do people do the kind of just establishment Democrats truly think that like now it's gonna happen, like that we're gonna be like, gotta vote for Biden? But like here, I wanted to play just a little clip of this dude. I swear I'll get it right this time. Of this dude. I showed it to you earlier this week, and his name is Shane Morris, and he is basically saying he's getting fried. I don't even know who this guy is. I think he's like a Twitch streamer or something, but he's popular. A lot of like the left accounts I follow like love video games and like Twitch streaming, so I always see people like this. Kind of like that Vosh guy, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, dude,
I thought it was him. Like, they look very similar. It's very much a Seth Rogen mold these guys come from.
It's the same mold. Yeah,
this guy's like if Seth Rogen went to culinary school, that's like what he would look like. Where like he's like the tattooed chef guy. And so here, and
right,
you can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's talking about Bernie Bros. They're in his mentions, and he's got the elixir. He's going to get us to vote for Kamala. So listen to this.
Let's go.
Extremely woke progressive Twitter. Listen up, because I'm going to tell you how to win an election and not fuck this up for the rest of us. Please, for the love of everything fucking holy, fall the fuck in line and stop doing the work of the GOP and trying to highlight every single policy problem with Kamala Harris, or for that matter, Joe Biden. Because here's the deal. If you actually look at their voting record, especially Kamala Harris, she is far left of most of her peers in the Senate. I mean,
there's a theme here, right? like you just got to compare it to the other people you hate. Yeah.
One of the most, that's such an own. That's an own. What is that? Yeah, exactly.
And it's an own, and he thinks like we're just eventually we're gonna be like, you know what, harm reduction. Like we gotta get her in, even though it's not harm reduction. Like it's kind of like when you're just like poker chips, where you're like, okay, putting some here, and it's like, where's the harm going? It's all the same amount of harm.
Yeah.
And yeah, It's crazy. So let me keep going.
Except for Gillibrand and Bernie Sanders.
Oh,
and like,
the guy I
if
like.
you want her to be as progressive as Bernie Sanders, you fundamentally understood that nobody is further left than Bernie Sanders. You can't do it. He is that standard. And if you really wanted Bernie, I'm super sorry. It sucks. But for the rest of us who have to live in this fucking country and own businesses and raise fucking families up, we don't give a shit about a couple small issues with her record on crime. And I know.
Okay, so we're putting all that to the side because that will never come back to haunt us.
Forcefully to the side. Yeah, exactly.
Kamala's pinky swore us that's in the past, guys.
Yeah.
Is he playing fucking NBA Hang Time or NBA Jams in the background? Like, 'cause I thought it was an actual game, and then I'm like, no, that's you're not allowed to play that game.
Yes, she was a former district attorney and a former prosecutor, and yes, she made some decisions that I think are regrettable, but among every other fucking voting issue, because ideology is a spectrum of fucking ideas when it comes to veterans healthcare for, I don't know, everybody else, schools,
I don't know.
infrastructure, the environment, yada, 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 she's very fucking far left. So if you want to isolate in on that one thing and do the work of the GOP and be like, oh my God, she's terrible to minorities. This is a black woman. I mean, I'm sure...
Oh my God, she's terrible to minorities. Don't do that.
Is this dude better not be tweeting out like Floyd protest shit too? You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, there's a thread here, so trust me. There's a thread.
Yeah.
Let's just get through it. I mean, it's only a little bit longer.
This guy's great, dude.
I only wanted to play 30 seconds of it, and I'm like, nah, let it bang. Let it bang. Watch this on YouTube too, so you could see him, please. But yeah, audio should actually capture this pretty well too. So hopefully.
To be okay to black people, probably better than white guys, okay? So just listen to yourselves, okay? This is how we lose elections. We, meaning like, even me, like kind of a center-leaning Democrat, this is how we lose. We allow you, asshole, insolent children to be like, man, it's not a perfect candidate. I didn't get Bernie. No one fucking cares. No one fucking cares. Donald Trump is the fucking president. Repeat that as many fucking times as you need.
If I'm Donald Trump, I'm clipping that part right there. Donald Trump is the fucking president, and I don't care if you want to do this or that. Like, I got
slow it down over Old Town Road or some shit.
Or just chopping screwed, fucking still tipping instrumental.
We should do that. Yeah. Okay, that's the song for the fucking
We'll tell our audio guys to get right on that.
Yeah, dude.
So you realize, don't do the work for the GOP. They love it when you do this shit. Fuck, I'm so done with you children.
That's awesome,
dude. He fucking sucks. Look at the bio before we wax on this. 2 12s in the trunk. I'm like a porn star. You'll hear me coming. He's rough, dude. Fucking rough. Dude. Yeah, crickets, bud.
Whoa. Okay.
What is that, man? Like, what? They're trying it again. They're not doing anything different from last time. I remember like this exact type of video being made.
Yeah, dude.
In 2016.
What is going on? Oh wow,
I can't believe it. What?
Yeah,
man. So did that? Okay. After seeing all that, did that work on you?
Oh, on me? Yeah, don't hold out hope, dude.
Well, Shane Morris, please feel free to come on the podcast and convince us to vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah. Dude, that's just wild. Like, where do you start with that? Number one, like, it's leftist fault that progressives don't get elected, or that Republicans get elected. That's the Ralph Nader thing that's going on right now too. The fucking they still blame, dude. These motherfuckers be like having George Bush on Ellen's show and then blaming like Ralph Nader still. Dude, like, what is that?
My boy Ralph Nader was probably just firing up his fucking like charcoal grill, being. You know,
up that lemon kush, dude.
Putting on. Yeah, he had a little CBD pen. You know what I mean, for his arthritis, and he had some Beyond sausage on the grill.
Yeah,
and
dude.
He was probably like this, and all of a sudden he looked at his phone. And he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He said, "Spicy Italian." Say spicy Italian. Yeah, Ralph, spicy Italian. I like mine extra done where the skin pops. Yeah. And does that still happen on Beyond?
On Ralph,
does it still cook like that? Like
it's the real deal. Yeah, I think so.
But I mean, aesthetically, it still does the like where the casing.
I think so. Yeah, I just had. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm in then.
Yeah. I don't hate it.
I still gotta try that. Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Like, that's the cool part of like grilling like meat is like you just you see the part of it like on the top part. So if it still does that. But yeah, Ralph Nader's probably looking at his phone. He's like, "What the fuck, dude? I did like."
He's used to it. Every like 3 years this happens though. It's like he's got some crazy.
He did that thing where he rushed it like in the movies where they rush in like where they see like the sky turning gray and they're like, "Oh no, is it?" Yeah. And then they check the calendar. They're like, "Oh fuck, it's April!" Like and then when the alien invasion happens,
Oh my god, man. Fuck, dude.
And I did save that. I did save that tweet from the guy hating on Ralph Nader for mansplaining.
Oh god, dude.
So
I love when the guys do it. It's the best.
Dr. Jack Brown. Jesus.
Yeah.
Why is it always a doctor? Like liberal doctors stink, dude. Like those guys are always.
That's awesome.
He's a body language expert. Come on, that's not a real profession. I'm sorry.
Well, hold up. No.
Well, come on. It's Larry David. We used.
That's when they had Bernie on and did the whole like. He's lying based on the
and then they listen to the Biden speech where he's fucking foaming at the mouth and convulsing, and they're like, Biden's passionate about police reform. And, so he says, "Hey, Ralph Nader, back off from AOC. Your behavior is not only mansplaining, it's also stalkerish. Ugh. Yeah. You're following Putin's playbook." Yeah, he runs a wing tee.
He's got a couple. He's got a couple option plays in the
Arkansas when they had McFadden, Peyton Hillis, and Felix Jones. Just you didn't know where the ball was going.
He's got a crazy fourth down fake punt that he pulls out every fourth quarter. Or so
he's got Trump taking the direct snap and he's faking it to Bill Barr, and then he hands it to Steve Mnuchin up the gut. It's wide open. So he says, "Don't split the party. Retire now." And it's like, what is Nader even doing right now? He's just chilling. Anyways, like, is it like? I mean, he's just talking. Like he was just like he said. He was trying to give her some tips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here's the thing. It's if you're a congressperson, it's your fucking job to like you're supposed to. He's doing democracy, dude. He's doing democracy. Yeah, it's crazy.
What did he say though? Right? Wasn't it just like it was just kind of like, hey, like love where you're headed. Like this is just a couple things to hit on, like environmentally and stuff like that. Green New Deal. Yeah, and he wasn't. I don't even think he was hating. That's the thing. It didn't even sound like he was hating on her. And it's like, but man, fucking mansplaining, man. Like let's break that. When a man uses mansplaining, it's like, man, are you even getting pussy out of this? Like, what is
dude, it's just, oh man, I don't know. It's just one of those things that is so, it's a Twitter moment, when you see that, you're just like, this is what's going on right now
in real life. If someone said that to me at a bus stop, I'm jumping in front of the bus. They'll be like, "Yeah, I've been hearing these men mansplain lately on the bus. Like the guys holding on to the rail. Yeah, I hate when they mansplain, man. Do you hate that? Like, and it's like most of the time, it's like I've even seen like women tweet. They're like, everybody's a condescending prick. Like there's always condescending pricks, men and women. Like there's no mansplaining. Like I've been woman-splained many times.
Also, is he right? Is he right in what he's saying? I think so. Dude, like I think so, and
doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess.
Oh, dude, the white knighting is crazy with that shit. It's fucking I don't know. It's a whole it's a whole ball of wax, man. It's one of those things where I think people feel they have to do it. Like, what if that guy that tweeted that or whatever, like, what if he has to? Is he like scared to be real with a woman? Like just be like, hey, like you shouldn't do that, or or like, hey, yo, I really believe this instead of that. You know what I mean? Like, is that?
Hey, is that key touching my car? Are you keying my car? Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Like sometimes you gotta be real with people. Like, yo, like kind of like that goes across gender lines.
Steph Curry has a brother. That's his brother that's playing. Sometimes you have to do that. Yeah, no.
And I will fully admit there are dudes that are like the mansplaining type. Like it's not you know what I mean? Like I'm not even saying it's not.
It's well actually, bros. But they do it to men too. They do it to men too. It's not like this is a woman. Let me explain this to her.
Yeah.
I hate this shit, man.
Yeah. Like, it's bad. It's why Adolph Reed gets canceled from like. It's the same shit, dude. Like from DSA, it's the thing that's holding this whole thing back, dude. Let's be honest, man. It's crazy. What do you think about that? What is that Alex Morse shit?
Yes, I think I saved something on that, but yeah. So
crazy week. I was like not checking in with any of this shit for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa.
I waited for somebody else that I like really follow to like get into that one because I was like, I'm not reading that story, and then somebody was like, yeah. So basically, this guy, I think he's gay, right, Alex? Yeah. So he was wherever he was working. I think it was like a university or something like that. He was a professor. And he like hooked up with his student of age and stuff like that. And he's like in his 40s or late 40s, early 50s.
With a student, right? Not even his student. That's the thing. That's what everyone.
His?
No, that's the thing.
I honestly wouldn't care either.
That's what I wouldn't either. But that takes away all like, you know, if that was a thing, there's possibly an argument there. But that takes away all of it. You know, like they put someone posted, they screenshotted like the dating apps or something, you know, and I've had my gay friends showed me their grinder, dude. It's something, dude, and there's not much care about if you're over 20, you're good, you know, kind of, you know what I mean? It's like, and come on, but they're showing his screenshots. He's like, I just had a barbecue this weekend and like went to visit my mom, and like that's like they're flirting, like this is what they're tripping out on.
Grooming, pretending to be a family man to have sex with a minor adult. And it's like,
so it's just, but then it all got revealed that this was like an orchestrated thing from like a year ago or something. And I don't know, man. It's like, come on, with this internet age with dating apps, like, do you want this shit or not? Like, fight for a law against it if you really care. But you know what I mean? Like for 22-year-olds hooking up with fucking people on Tinder or whatever.
Well, and he's like, it's like, come on, he's kind of like left too in his politics too. Like he's like,
he's like progressive, dude.
Like legit progressive. And it's funny to me because is being taken down by a lot of liberal people, but like a lot of progressives are like hopping on it too because they think they have to. It's a forced take, like we said, rose emoji forced take. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
they're all recanting. They're like, oh, like it looks like we want to, you know, they kind of like half apologize, kind of. I don't know. It's just weird.
Right, but what I mean is it's like there's no unity when everybody's trying to censor each other. Like there's no unity in this because you feel like.
We could be doing shit, man. We could be doing cool shit, you know. Like we could be,
exactly.
Organize a general strike, like, you know, just fucking get healthcare.
Like I said, riot for direct democracy. Like that's my thing. Like let's get direct democracy. Let's not even have this discussion where we're talking about politician purity tests because fuck politicians. Let's just get healthcare.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like take all this shit out. That's my number one goal is try to figure out, not even get healthcare, not even get subsidized housing. Like I do want to get that. My goal is to like let's just get to a point where we can vote on that policy, and it's gonna have to take some crazy shit happening like what's happening right now.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know where are you?
I don't get like our generation and younger, like I don't know what's happening to like our parents didn't give a fuck about any of this shit. You know, they fought for like just for people to be able to do their own thing, right? And just, you know, and now it's like it's crazy. Like our generation to Gen Z, it seems, is like tripping super hard on this shit, at least on the progressive side. It just seems weird. Like, it's this weird dichotomy of like OnlyFans and then like, you know, like we're gonna go after every progressive gay politician dude that has a dating app. It's like, what is that? You know, like what does that even mean? Like, what are the rules? Like, you know, it's so crazy. Yeah,
that was the take. That was the take I saw where it was a good take. It was like, okay, so we're gonna champion like if it was a sex worker doing this, like a 22-year-old woman sex worker with a 47-year-old man, it's like, get your money, like sex work is work, all that kind of stuff. But when it's like a consenting adults that are just not for money, it's like, oh, that's bad. Can't do that.
Maybe money is acting, I'm not defending this, but it's acting like a form of consent, you know, in a weird ass way. Because it like this
I think that's what you're saying.
And the whole sugar daddy thing is like going nuts online too lately, which is like crazy. Like that, people do that on the low, you know, like it's crazy, and which is fine, like whatever, I'm not against it, but like
those guys are gonna spend their money on some dumb shit. You should get it. That's my
exactly.
Like those guys are gonna buy dumb shit no matter what.
And in this age when like college isn't free, like do what you got to do, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, that's why a lot of people do it, you know, they just want, like, they don't want to struggle. It's like I can't hate on that, but like,
these guys are gonna spend their money, like they're gonna be like, all right, you know, like sex work is where I'm going to buy sex worker tonight. And it's like, what if that in an alternate universe, like, that money, if he was just like, nah, I'm actually not going to do that. And then he's like, but I'm still going to spend this fucking money because I'm an idiot. And he's like, how it's made box set. Like, you know what I mean? It's going to be something dumb these guys are going to fucking buy with their money. Like, so that's fine. Now,
Yo, I want to do. Has this been done before? I want to start at OnlyFans, but have it just be videos of OnlyFans, like fucking circular fans and shit.
That's like, yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like fans, like, hey, are you a fan of me? What's up?
No, like straight up like going to Home Depot, getting the box fan. Yeah, just like live streaming that shit.
This is a Vornado
right there, dude, up there in the corner, dude.
Now this is a Vornado Kirkland signature. This one gives off quite a bit of heat and
OnlyFans.
Yeah, and
No, anyway, I don't know, dude. It's like,
why is that? Why was that even a big deal? I just don't with this thing. Why was that even? It was like this long. I mean, shout out to Ryan Grimm from The Intercept because he actually like had the counter story to it because like.
It's funny. I all that whole crew, the whole Intercept crew, like Glenn Greenwald and all those. I don't always agree with them, but I do fuck with them heavy for sure.
They're better than they are bad. That's
and for months they've been like, yo, this CC shit is bullshit. Like, watch out with this. You know, don't
Sabathia, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cancel culture. That CC Sabathia stands for cancel culture. Sabathia.
Yes, dude. Yeah. But they've been saying for months now, being like, watch out with this shit. And, you know, kind of, and everyone's been like, fuck you guys. This is so dumb. Why are you focused on this right now? And like, this person has a chance to upseat like a political legacy of super neolib con policies and yet we're like, this is the thing that's going to do us in. I think they just read the room. Like, the people in power read the room and were like, yo, this is the strategy we're going to take.
But that's why Kamala Harris is considered a progressive. That's all it is. You're just like, here's a progressive. This checks your boxes of the things that don't cost us any money.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly,
you know what I mean? Like, we have a black woman, Indian woman. I still don't quite know. You know,
she's half Jamaican and half Indian. Yeah.
Which is a slapping combination too. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're talking about like two cultures that are hella sick, you know what I mean? Like, that's two tight ass cultures.
People are saying, you know, there's the whole thing, like, is Kamala Harris like black or not? Like, obviously she's functionally black, you know, and like in a Western
that's what I would guess if I looked.
Society. Exactly. But I will say it's crazy how her, like, if she was like African descendant, right? Not do you think if there was a prosecutor that was, do you think like a true African American prosecutor could be as bad as her? You know, do you think there's something about being African American, not saying she's not, but being from like the African continent and having that experience growing up in America, do you think you could be that hard on black people in crime in that position of power? Do you know you can?
Yeah. All right, no problem.
As I was saying that, I was like, yeah, you dipshit. Totally, someone could. Well, and then I was like, wait, that's the,
ask a conservative. Obama was born in Kenya, so they're like, yeah, look at him, he's a tough guy.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if you ask a conservative, that's their take. But yeah, I think you can. I mean,
I think there isn't a phenomenon of, like, you know, let's say black people in Oakland that are like, nah, fuck that. She's not us, you know, kind of thing, right?
And there are. Yeah. You know what I mean? The thing is she's actually like, I live in the Bay Area, and I can't say this is like an empirical number, but just most like black people I talk to, they're just like, nah. Like, like, no thanks. No, we'll try another one, please. You know, I mean,
exactly,
even the ones that like truly are like about representation, they're just like,
did anyone ask them? Did anyone?
Distrust of police like trumps like representation. Like, it does. I'm sorry, because like, look at, you know, Ice Cube. There's been lyrics on it in songs, like, you know, like black police. Like, it doesn't make you any better, you know, and just shit like that. And so it might, dude, they might lose. Like, and if they do, holy shit.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You have to scrap the party. You have to just be like, this isn't working. We lost twice. You cannot use Russiagate.
Lost twice to Trump, dude.
You can't use Russiagate again.
No, can't do that, because we had 4 years to prep for that.
Don't blame us, but if our numbers are so large, that means that the party's not.
Exactly.
It is not.
We'll be like, cool, anything. We'll take over. Like, you proved us right two times in a row. That's what this will be if that happens. Is like, so there is a silver lining, but dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. And what, getting back to what you were saying, we were talking about the forced takes with the rose emojis. So I think this will be a good thing to end on, and by good I mean bad. The Elizabeth Bruenig from the New York Times, she has been seen as like the socialist voice of the New York Times. Like, she writes op-eds and stuff. I mean, honestly, during the Bernie campaign, it was fine. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool. You know what I mean? She'd be the one kind of like showing out for Bernie. but I follow her, and she's on Chapo from time to time. Like, she's good friends with them. Her and her husband have a podcast. They're both like writers and stuff, and I don't know, for the most part it's like bougie socialism, you know what I mean, just kind of like, I'm gonna piss off my liberal friends from grad school type stuff, like which, whatever, hey, if they want to do that, that's fine. It doesn't really cross my radar very often. So what she said was, she quote tweeted an article from The Hill, and here I have her tweet right here, and she quote tweeted the Hill article. And it says, the Hill article is 1 in 3 Americans say they will not get the coronavirus vaccine. She quote tweets and says, shouldn't be optional. Now, I think she thought she was going to get like unanimous support in the replies, but the replies were going in on her.
Yeah.
They were going,
I see you in there, dude.
Oh yeah. In there. Yes, it should. I just simply disagreed.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then, I was sprinkled in the replies. I think you're in there too. But and like, my tweet was in there, not to share my own tweet, because we don't do that here, obviously.
Like, that was on me. I pointed it out.
I had another one in there I was going to share. But anyways, what I said was, I go, and we've talked about this. When you have just like a different view on Medicare for all than me, it can be a little weird, because her and I probably both want Medicare for all. Right, like I don't have a reason to say no, because maybe she's gonna waffle on it eventually, like we were talking about earlier. People might have anti-Medicare for all takes soon, but for the most part, I believe her.
Yeah.
Where I think the problem stops for them is just accessibility, and we have problems with like what the fuck is going on. Once we get Medicare for all, we got to do other things for the actual health field, right? I think I can speak for you on that point. So I think a lot of people are just like, no, our healthcare is great. Like, objectively great. Like, we have the best healthcare in the world. Like, people will say stuff like that. No, but it's just the accessibility that's wrong. And I don't, that's why I think they're like, no, the vaccine is just not available for everybody. We need it available for everybody. And then they want it mandatory. But I don't know, maybe I'm giving
no, dude. Everyone needs to look up when the SARS or which one was it? One of the viruses, H1N1 or something, 10 years ago or something, right?
Oh, I'll look it up.
They did a vaccine, a rushed vaccine that they gave to nurses. They kind of pressured them into taking. I don't know if they forced them or not, but that ended up giving them basically incurable narcolepsy, changed their lives in one shot.
I think I have the article.
And that's a real thing that happened, right? Like, from a real recent vaccine that they pushed on people. Again, we've never had a vaccine for coronavirus. I'm not saying something couldn't happen, but I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just what you're talking about. I'm just
good.
showing. Yeah, you're right. So no, you're right. People with it's just 8 years later, and this is just starting with
1,000 adults across Europe were given incurable narcolepsy from a rushed, relatively untested swine flu vaccine.
And I wonder if this was like an anti-NHS like kind of dig too. Do you think like healthcare thing? Like, because look at the way it's marketed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? NHS, which look, that's their job title.
That could be an angle. Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't socialize healthcare. Like,
I mean, like, that's true. And it's stupid on the other end. Like, capitalism is going to do the same thing with the functioning
more
government.
so.
It's the government that serves it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm of the opinion that, you can set up socialized medicine where we brainwash people. Okay. Come on, like, okay, if you're Elizabeth Brunig, you have to accept the possibility that you will recommend someone get this thing that has these potential consequences or worse. That's a fact, right?
1,000.
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, in America, you have the Vaccine Compensation Protection Act, which was signed in the 80s, right? So forget about we know that people are harmed by vaccines, a small percentage, right? And it's real. And we know that you cannot hold vaccine manufacturers accountable for the product, like every other medical product and every other TV and hot tub that you buy, basically, right? They have specifically for vaccines a court that you have to go through that has shelled out tons and tons of money to families that were injured by vaccines. So you have to accept that if you're the forced vax take. And most people that say they're like, I'm kind of like, you could tell how I feel about it, but I'm not like, I don't know. I'm in the middle on a lot of this shit, to be honest. But I see their position, and they're basically like, yo, we just want this shit like tested double-blind placebo, which often doesn't even happen with vaccine. You know, against
what does
like
that mean? What is that?
with a,
You're saying,
you know, with a control, like
nothing,
like
something that does nothing, right?
yeah,
Like,
control, yeah. Do a vaccine test again. They do vaccine tests against other vaccines. They do. It's not laudable science what they do for these tests. Basically, we could do a lot better. And if you say no, we can't do a lot better, then you're fucking dumb. Like, even if you're pro-vaccine, you should want the best of testing, so we have the best possible vaccines, right? That's
Right.
not even happening right now, and we're rushing shit and giving people narcolepsy when we don't even understand why that would happen. Right?
Adults and children got it out of that, and that was just like a here. This is what we got right now. Like, it's like a rough.
And we're not even
draft, motherfucker.
Yeah. And we're not even touching the fucking what happens in South America and India, like with people that are illiterate, and we're like, here, sign this form. And they're like, oh, what? And you know, and it's like here, take this thing. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, I don't get the whole. Yeah, I was tripping on the Chapo Trap House's takes on this. They're all like,
yeah,
bro, for it. I'm like, you
motherfuckers.
I
knew that. I always
you motherfuckers. That. How do they? There's always these gaps and these holes in these stupid ideologies where like you criticize the fuck out of Bill Gates and like he's got a neoliberal program of economic power that is threatening blah blah blah, and then like 5 minutes later, let's take his fucking vaccine. You know, it's like you can't support both. Like, it's dumb. You're at that point, you're just a lib, dude. It's like, come on, just admit it. Like,
you find out what somebody's like tipping point is, and it's
I remember when. Sorry, but I remember when like in the beginning when you first hear about Chapo, and I'm not hating on that. Like, I'm still a fan and everything, and they're funny but like when people say like Chapo, Trapos, they're libs, dude. They're fucking and you're like, what? They're like the furthest left I've ever seen. And then like a year later, you're like,
radicalized me originally. I'm not even gonna,
a lot of people, dude.
I don't want to, you know, it's supposed to be some
no hate, dude.
book or like theory or like Marx Capital. It wasn't that. It was that. It was a guy from Barstool. It's funny, like hilarious that I went from like Barstool to becoming like a fucking socialist. Like, and like this guy PFT commenter went on there and he tweeted out the link. Hey, I went on Chapo Trap House and I saw a lot of guys like, whoa, this is fucking insane. Like, and I was like, yeah, and I love the guy. So I was like, well, let me listen to what you're talking about. And I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And then I would hear them like flame politicians, like they'd be like, yeah, and then the fucking Clintons and all. I'm like, whoa, Obama's bad. I'm like, what the fuck? It was like 2016 and shit, like right after the election. I'm like, Obama's bad. I'm like, whoa, and that's what took me down the rabbit hole. Now I've been reading like Marx and Fred Hampton stuff and like all this kind of shit, and it's like I can't say that it's all bad. It's just it's not me.
Well, it's just like anything. It takes you where you need to go, and then you kind of you kind of come to your own beliefs. Like, I've always been anti-medical, forced medical shit because of how just the horror stories that we've had and just how little we know and how predictable all these companies and corporations have acted, right? I feel I just know if people knew more facts about how the FDA has acted and how the EPA has acted and how they're really not that tight, and if people knew like more just basic facts about that, and like I'll be happy to drop some in future episodes. But you know, I don't want to make this too long. You know what I mean? But like it would be most people don't know there's a vaccine kangaroo court in America. Most people don't
crazy.
Know that.
I know that's like when you fight at the fucking football game and they take you like and they like charge you underneath the stadium. That's like what happens. That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah.
Except with like, you know, vaccines. But feels,
so I don't know, man.
It feels scarier. I don't know which worse, fighting the Philly fanatic or fucking, you know, getting something like that. But
I don't get how you can be. I don't get how it fits with the leftist philosophy to support forced vaccinations of corporate Merck, Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline, fucking corporations that have been caught knowingly poisoning people. Not controversial, not a conspiracy. Like, it's proven. Like, I don't get how that's a leftist position.
It's not. That's the thing. It has nothing to do with, shout out Walter Sobchak, the tenets of National Socialism. None of that shit is vaccines.
At least it's a fucking ethos.
Dude. At least it's an ethos. And none of it has to do with vaccines. Like, there's no, I don't remember seeing that. I don't, like, maybe some theory guy is going to fucking vaguely put some Marx quote.
They're saying it because they know fucking, like, a lot of, like, MAGA people or whatever are not down with it. So they're trying to get in front of it and, you know, play, like, some weird game with that shit without thinking it through, you know? It's just dumb.
Well, and look, let's take it to like a working class perspective, right? I've been back at work for probably 2 months now, like maybe even longer. I don't even know what the fuck month it is, but like I've been back at work, And I'll tell you right now, I was petrified of going back to work. And I even have like, we've been talking about COVID where we're kind of like, I don't know, is this like really worth what we're doing right now? We've had that talk, but I still was like, I don't want to get it. You know what I mean? I was scared. And I was like really fucking scared in my house. You know what I mean? And staying in my house for that long, I was really scared. When that's why I'm supposed to feel safe. That's what I'm told, to stay inside. You'll feel safe. You'll be safe.
Yeah.
Well, the moment I went back to work and saw people like talking to each other, like not social distancing, and then you know, a week later, like, whoa, they're not dead. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, they're not on a ventilator, and nobody in their family got sick. Like, wow.
It's fine to admit. It's fine to admit that we reacted too late, but too crazily. That's what happened.
The last time Elizabeth Brunig probably went to the office at the New York Times.
Dude. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Cash
on the paycheck every direct deposit, dude. It's like,
because she had another tweet, dude. She had another tweet, and I didn't bookmark it, but like she had another tweet where right after, and you sent it to me. She was like, "Wow, I guess a lot of my libertarian followers don't like that quote, so I just like take this opportunity to double down." And it's like I responded. I just said, "You should just stay inside. Why don't you stay inside?"
Yeah, dude. And it's crazy. It's in a way she's right. It is like. The real definition of libertarian, like non-authoritarian. That's the other side of the spectrum. It's like, I don't know. I want nothing to do with that shit. I want nothing to do with it. Like if you're listening to this and you think that's part of the brand, like that's not what I'm about. That's not. Well, it's like
anybody. If this is your first time, you would think that. But I think we're pretty documented with that. But like I said, and to me, you know way more about this than I do. So I'll probably ask a really fucking dumb question, but I don't think everybody knows the answer. Why does it matter if everybody gets it? Like. You know what I mean? The vaccine. So like, why do we need 100% participation in that?
Well, their theory goes, the proponents' theory goes that the more people that get it, the more people where the vaccine is basically ineffective, or small percentage of people that can't get it, right?
Can mutate or something? Is that?
Well, no, that we isolate those people so much. Basically, herd immunity is the thing. That the higher 100% compliance you get, the more people will be separated and isolated that are spreading the virus, so that immune people that are immune to COVID don't spread it. You know, it creates pockets of infected people rather than letting it it's the same concept as wearing a mask, right? According to them, is you wear this mask and it prevents viruses from spreading to people. It's just a barrier, right?
Right.
It's a physical barrier between. That's exactly the same logic, right? But the thing is it never really goes the way they think it goes, right? It works in theory on paper, but it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, because I was like, why don't you just get it? You should just get it. I'm like, well, then get the vaccine. I mean, and then I don't. Like, why is it?
Well, yeah, and that's well. Then they say like, well, there's people that can't get it, and you're hurting them if they don't get it, and that's the whole thing. And so like, we need more people to drink the Kool-Aid. But here's the thing. Number one, it's really not that solid of science to say that herd immunity, vaccine-induced herd immunity is a real viable thing for every disease. There are towns in like Canada, small towns that have near 100% compliance for like measles vaccines, and they have measles outbreaks, right?
That's crazy.
People that have 100% compliance, right? And then the media goes on and is like, the unvaccinated are spreading the measles virus, and you're like, wait, hold up, what the fuck? It's like
everyone 100%,
everyone was vaccinated. And for me personally, I got whooping cough as a young teen, and I was vaccinated for the whooping cough, and it was gnarly. Like it felt like I couldn't breathe, dude. It was crazy, and
really?
It went away. Yeah, it took a long time to heal, and like knowing now what I know. Like I probably could have healed it naturally quicker. There's things you can do to boost your immunity, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's what they say, but it never works out that way. And the thing is, the CDC is saying that we have 3-month immunity tops anyway, which implies that the traditional notion of herd immunity induced by vaccines is fucking dipshit to begin with. Anyway, it's a failed premise. It doesn't even make sense. So. No one ever has an answer for these things. They just assume that it's all good and, we're all going to be okay. When really the people asking these questions are the ones that are honestly being more scientific. Like, wait, why, how's this going to work with 3 months? Yeah. Exactly. So
science is occurring. Science is occurring.
Just disregard that shit. It's dumb as fuck. It's like, I'm sorry, it's not gonna hold up in the long run. Like this whole, there will be form of like inducing immunity into populations, like forms of quote unquote vaccines. Like it does work in theory to a certain degree, but it's gonna change form. It's gonna get better once we stop playing this stupid capitalist healthcare game, right? Where they can like write off billions in losses due to lawsuits and payouts and shit like that and still make a profit. Like we're going to see the truth emerge on these issues. And the thing, I don't even know where the truth is, but it's not what the proponents say, right? It's not what the fucking cheerleaders say.
Try something else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and exactly.
So, yeah, well, that's that, because I didn't want to.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion, at least. I don't fucking know.
Well, no, we're not
like
fucking scientists. I mean, if you're listening to this shit, then take it at face value. I mean, like, you don't have to agree with me. I mean, but why they get so fucking angry when they don't? That's the problem.
Oh, it's like, one of the weirdest things online where people freak out.
Fucking, you must not say, he must not be named type shit. Like,
no, it's crazy.
That's probably the people who read that is But well, how do you feel about drinking water? Do you
fluoride?
think it should have? No. We're not doing fluoride this time.
Past that, yeah.
What about lithium? If I just said,
for like depression.
Yeah. So yes, that's what I'm getting at here. So what I found is in the New York Post. This is lithium laced. I love laced too. Like it's just like PCP. Like it just boiled with a little bit.
Look at that image.
Yeah, lithium laced drinking water could curb suicide rates, scientists say. Just the headline alone is great. But for communities with a low rate of depression and suicide, there may be something in the water, according to a new study, which I would love. Where are those places, by the way? Yeah, and I'm guarantee you they're like rural, like low pressure areas. But so this article is basically just a comprehensive analysis of findings from previous studies has revealed that regions where the public drinking water contains a high level of naturally occurring lithium, a mineral used most often for the treatment of depression and bipolar disorder, also boost a lower rate of suicide than other areas. The review included all prior research on the effects of lithium as well as regional water samples and suicide data. Love being the guy that gathers both those things. And from 1,286 locals in Austria, Greece, Italy, Lithuania, UK, Japan, and the United States. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, okay, let's start here. Why do people commit suicide? Probably because there's a lot of pressure, they're depressed, and a lot of times it's like losing your job.
Yeah.
Losing like family member and stuff like that. And I would bet that if we increased kind of workers' protections, if we extended unemployment, enhanced unemployment, stuff like that, I have a feeling not as many people would be committing suicide. And now I don't know. I need the Mythbusters guy here to see if that's true. But what the fuck?
Well, okay, that's exactly. It's just it's a Band-Aid, right? Is what it is, right? And I'm actually sympathetic to the idea of single nutrients being a game changer, right? Where like they find if you eat like Brazil nuts, even if you eat like a couple a month, they're so high in selenium, right? That they like protect against cancer like crazy, which like a lot of people are just out of selenium because it's just not in modern diets.
That's why I drink Head and Shoulders every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It does that like crumble shit to your insides instead of your scalp.
Yeah, exactly. No, there was a movie called Evolution. I actually learned that from this movie called Evolution with I believe it was David Duchovny from the X-Files and Orlando Jones, who used to be the 7-Up guy, and he was on Mad TV. And they both they were like science bro teachers at like this school, and they're like there's this monster like crazy alien thing that's like mutating into this crazy thing that's gonna take over the city, and like he does this like crazy like dramatic like periodic table. We can't find out how to kill these things. Fire makes it expand. It's like and then all of a sudden like he finds it. He goes selenium. there it is, selenium. And then it's like Jeff Goldblum. It's selenium, and selenium is what takes him
Chef
out.
Fucking Goldblum.
And it wasn't him, but it's basically there's that guy in every movie.
I thought of him right when you. That's crazy. You bring that up. I was literally thinking of him.
Yeah. And then so they just basically get a bunch of Head and Shoulders and pump the monster out. So I did learn that selenium's from that. But anyways, go on.
What's up? Yeah. No, it's just we gotta, we can't fix like the hellhole that is New York City and expect people not to commit suicide there, or be homeless or whatever. We need a whole new fucking thing, dude. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, it's just, we should not be putting shit in drinking water without people's consent. If people give people dropperfuls, be like, put it in your own drinking water if you want to take it. Take it, like literally
hydration tablets, like where you can like add it to a big.
If you're gonna give it for free for everyone, might as well give it for free to the people that want it. Sign
it up for a subscription.
Like those
Paperboy throws it at your fucking door. Lithium,
like those Crystal Light bottle shaker things.
Yeah, exactly. I don't use
those,
but I use this thing called Noon, like for running, where it's like.
That reminds me, dude. I got a dank sparkling water in the fridge. I need to smash later, dude.
Sparkling water.
Yeah, I know. This one's
I don't know. Okay.
Go on. You were talking about your electrolytes and shit. Yeah.
Well, no, I use these Noon tablets for running and stuff to like put that
Beta's fucked.
Well, it's better than walking, I guess.
Got to alpha through that, dude.
I do. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, you got to beta to become an alpha. It's like bottoming from the top. You got to,
trickle up.
Beta from you got to alpha from the beta is what you have to do sometimes. So the what I found crazy is like, so say like you're the guy who has like the dramatic huge spread graph stonks graph of suicide rate, you know what I mean, and you're just like, guys, it's fucking skyrocketing. And they go in and it's like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all these people are like, it's actually a lot of your guys' employees that are killing themselves, and then like a bunch of like restaurant owners, like people who like waiters and people who are struggling stuff killing themselves, and they're like, all right, we can do one of two things. We can improve working conditions, and fucking Elon Musk does that gif where the guy's taking the headphones off.
Like,
fuck this. And then everybody else, or what we could do is put lithium in drinking water. Like that one.
That's the one.
Elon Musk tried to invent. He's
like, I got that shit in the back right now.
He's like, I invented a new lithium.
It's already in the drinking water. I didn't ask. You already gave the grants for me to do.
Actually, my employees, they mainline Red Bull with lithium mixture. They mainline it while they work, and it's on a like a pulley system on top. And they can run around and scurry. They're similar to a rat cage. So my employees already do that, and and then it's got a plan B in there too. So I don't want my employees to have kids because I don't like. So
got to pay that shit.
It's funny. That's a symptom of capitalism. I didn't want to get too deep in that article because it's like,
When was that published? Was that recently? This year?
It was recent. Let me see. I definitely didn't check. You're right, but August 5th, 2020. All right, I thought I was sharing old shit.
And the irony of posting that shit in COVID times with lockdown and everything. Dude.
That's probably why it was posted.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? They're just like, we're ready for the wave. Like winter's coming.
Release the lithium, please. Yeah, we talked about this.
Oh my God,
man. Last meeting. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. It's so before we go, do you have a crypto update? How was your August trading going?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I took like 3 days off to go to the coast. And I think it's all right. I made a couple $100. I'm chilling, but I was super hyped for it. And then my group's like leader died. Right? Or no,
David Koresh.
No, his dad died. So like obviously he's taking hell. So it kind of just deflated sales a little bit. But it's the same thing I do every day. It's just trading. Yeah,
that was a crazy way to say it. It just deflated sales,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's cool. I'm up. I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. But give it the betting update?
Man, yesterday was good. Today is not off to a great start. And then the day before, man, it was bad. It was we're still dancing,
Such a shitty update from both of us. We're like,
it's the damn NBA bubble's been getting me. Like it's the new format and stuff, but it's been getting me. I've been doing
who fucked you this round?
Oh man. So I've never gotten the Utah Jazz right. Utah Jizz, I like to call them. And they never got them right. Like, because the one day they're like, oh, I tried to pick the under in their game, and then they drop like 135, and then the other, 135 to 132, and I blow that. And then the other time I'm like, okay, let's bet the over on them now. And nope. Yeah, just clank. It's just back rim shots all day. Clank. Like, that's what's funny about the NBA bubbles. They pump in crowd noise, but you could still hear like the shots like rim out hella harder because nobody's there. Yeah. In baseball, they always have to go like the guy swing and miss, and you're fuck hella loud on TV. And NFL's gonna rock, dude. DBs and wide receivers.
Oh, we got to do a compilation or something.
No, because it's funny what they do on like NFL when they do live bleeping. They just blur out all the sounds, so you don't hear anything. For a while. It's just like dead air and like that. So you, it's like right after, and you see this guy like mouthing.
Like
that, like, just...
Dude, Gruden at the ref trying to do the timeout. You're like, I fucking called it.
You're fucking me in the ass, Walt.
Exactly.
Dude, I love the way coaches talk to refs, man.
Oh, it's the best, dude.
Because, dude, NFL refs are beta. Like, they're very beta. But, like, MLB umpires, dude, they're like fucking WWF wrestlers, dude. They're like, you want something? Gone.
They're like robots, bro. They're like, are they even real people?
No, like, they'll call like strike 3, and you'll hear like some light, like like that, like from the dugout, and they'll look and go, "Sorry, what's that?" Like and they do that. They take off their little mask like dramatically, and they look. They go, "Is that you? Is that you, Melvin? Was that you talking?" And like Coach Hines from Mad TV, I'm sick of it. But then like NFL refs, dude, NFL refs, they're just like they take a beating from the coach, dude. Like the coach finds them on the sideline judge, and he's just he has to stand there like the royal guard in the fucking in the. I don't know, man. I'm so ready for fucking football, man.
I know, dude. Just something.
I'm so ready. I mean, like
it's gonna be the dopest sport.
It will. And dude, the fucking Corona bros. I turn into Clay Travis when it comes to sports, man. Like I'm so fucking tired of these reporters. They'll be like, one guy will get a case, and they like, or not even a case, because there's a COVID list. What happens is like, if you're around somebody that had it, like they just shelter you away from the team for a little bit just to see what happens. So like that report will come out, and this guy goes, "Oh, it's only a matter of time before 30 out of the 52 players on the roster get." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Shut up!" And then it doesn't happen, and then he doesn't have to explain that. He's just like, "Well, I mean, it's, dude,
and it's a fucking masterclass in this bullshit,
it
dude.
Sucks.
It's so
it's
bad.
Like, man, if there's good news, report the good news.
Come on, man.
Like the Chargers coach was on Hard Knocks, the HBO show. Where they profile NFL teams, and like he was just like, like I had it, and like he's on the Zoom meeting, like looking like me. He's like, "Yeah, man, I got this shit. This shit fucking sucks, man." Like he's like doing drywall demolition in the background. He's like, he's like, "I'm actually expanding my fucking living room right now. This sucks, dude."
It's all bad.
No, he was just like, it sucks. I had to shelter off because I didn't know who I could give it to. Like, that was the worst part, was being like isolated from my family. Even though I didn't feel sick, I was kind of like, he was like kind of achy. He said, even though he said he got it from a golf, or he was watching a golf tournament, and like the guy had to like pull out of the golf tournament because he was achy, like and fevery. Like that was like the report, and then he's like, I'm achy and fevery, and he goes, and if I wasn't watching the golf tournament, I would have never gotten a test.
Oh, that's great, dude.
I know, dude.
So
it was
great.
so bad. It was so bad. Where he's just like, it's like, so if you weren't fucking like dry, like coughing of like blood into the fucking napkin, you'd be like, nah, I'm skipping the golf tournament today.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, come on, dude. It's so
awesome.
funny.
Yeah.
I think that's it for us. I think that's good. That was a damn good one.
Getting in the groove of this.
Even though I fucked up that first video clip, I feel bad, but I think we were like 3 for 3 after that, so that was good. Dude. Yeah, you clank the one off the back rim, then you drain the next 3. It's how you gotta miss one just to get the cobwebs out. So you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Glenn Rockney, GLENROCKNEY. He's at CryptoPsi, CRYPTOPSI. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fucking research it before I upload to where we can get the shit on the bottom. You know what I mean? Like where you can like put it down there. Like, well, you know what I'm talking about? It's got to be easy, dude. Like, cause I designed a thumbnail the other day, dude, for on YouTube. Oh my lord.
Watch it out.
I was doing the Hannibal Buress gif where he's looking at his hands like,
Oh my lord!
Yeah, what have I done? Yeah, like
Yeah,
so
that's what's
I was like, damn, I did a fucking thumbnail. It was like a psychedelic one for our last the seafood one.
Word.
So yeah, follow us on Twitter. You can follow the podcast Twitter. I gotta start pumping that a little more.
Yeah,
Rare Candy Pod 1, which I guess Rare Candy Pod was taken, which sucks. And subscribe to our YouTube. so subscribe to our YouTube page. That's what this will be on. It's probably the best way to see this, but I think the audio will be really good this time because we got all the sound in from all the shit we were listening to. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right, have a good one.
All right, guys.
Later.